Good morning. I'm Janie Parrish with the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce, and today you are zooming in with one of my very favorite people, Kevin Denee. And Kevin works for, well, it was Eyedeal Graphics when I first came to Wadsworth, but now it's been changed to Eyedeal Creative, and I'm sure Kevin will tell us exactly why that changed to that. So, good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Janie. How are you today?
Good. I have to tell you, I think that Ideal Creative has one of the best front porches. And a couple years ago, Kevin invited me for coffee on the front porch. Now, I don't want to shame him, but he hasn't invited me for a couple years. So when the weather breaks, I'm looking for that invitation.
Absolutely. It's an
Oh,
open invitation, so can't wait to have you.
I like it. Okay, I was there cookies involved? I can't remember. I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know, but there can be. We'll make it happen.
I like you more all the time. Yeah. So Kevin, tell us about Ideal Creative.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, Janie, thanks for having me. It's
Sure.
always great connecting with you and coffee on the porch or lunch or whatever. And of course, all the chamber meetings that we go to as well. But about Ideal Creative, yes. So as you mentioned, we used to be called Ideal Graphics. And about a year and a half or so ago, we rolled out our new brand and our new name, Ideal Creative. And it was in part, it was telling our story of where we had come and where we were going. So Ideal Graphics has been in business since the late 90s and been in Wadsworth that whole time. We've been here on Main Street for, I think, 10 years or so, just a few doors down from you, Janie. And our transition has gone a lot from more of a graphics and physical design shop to more of a creative design agency. And so what we do now is a lot in the digital space, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We have a lot of clients all over this area, but since we do a lot on the website of things, we also have the opportunity to work with clients out of state as well. So during that process of rebranding, we went and decided to not only update the logo and the colors and refresh all of that, but also we changed the name from Ideal Graphics to Ideal Creative. So we've been at this now for about a year and a half. The same team. We're just excited to continue to grow in this space. And yeah, so that kind of summarizes it. I think from a service perspective, the best way to explain Ideal is we are a creative design agency who specialize in web design and development, which that includes e-commerce, that includes things like integrations with a website and other systems. And then we do a lot on the graphic design space as well. So there's oftentimes a lot of our clients, they may not have a graphic designer in-house, but they really want to have a professional look about them. So we work with clients who engage us and engage our graphic designers so they can design good marketing collateral or trade show booths or trifold brochures, whatever you can think of, we design it. And then we provide that. In some cases, we print it for them. In some cases, we don't. But and then we dabble in some other things. Like, so for example, we pull in other partners when it comes to photography or videography or that type of thing, because there are some customers who want to just kind of deal with one agency that can handle all of that. And we have that capability as well. But that's a long-winded answer to your question, but hopefully that helps.
Well, one thing that I did want to talk to you about is, when you went from Ideal Graphics to Ideal Creative, it seemed seamless. And a lot of people, when you talk with them, are afraid to change a name to better encompass what they do or to update a logo. But you seem to just do this seamlessly.
Yeah, well, it's I guess in part it's kind of part of our business, right? So in that sense, like we of all people hopefully have it down where we can handle such a transition. It was a decent amount of work, no doubt, when you go
Yeah.
through a rebranding. There's some kind of pre-planning, if you will, where you're talking internally and discussing, do we want to just update the logo? Do we want to change the name? So there's a lot of internal discussions that need to take place from a planning perspective and from a business strategy perspective.
Okay.
But that, frankly, that was happening in the background, I would say, for years. So by the time we got to the point where we wanted to actually execute on the plan, it was relatively seamless. And it's also, I think, just a part of the process where internally we have designers, we have people who think in terms of branding and the message we want to convey. And so we were able to, in our downtime, go through that effort. And it's one thing, too, that we help a lot of our clients with. Like you take logos, for instance. We've done complete rebrands for companies or entities. Like an example would be Leadership Medina County. We did their rebrand several years ago, and that was essentially the same name, of course, but they wanted to update their branding. In other cases, it's not a full rebrand, it's just an update to a logo, and that's a simpler process. And then, of course, the most complicated process is update to a name, a logo, branding, a website, because then Eyedeal Graphics went to Eyedeal Creative. So there's technical things that have to happen as well. So it can be as simple or as comprehensive or as complicated as it demands. So
Now, Kevin, why do you love what you do? Because I do know you do.
Yeah, I do. So I love, I guess, a lot of reasons. I think the biggest thing, Janie, and you probably know this about me pretty well, but I really love people. I love connecting with people on a variety of levels, personal, professional, and pretty much everywhere in between. And our whole company here at Eyedeal and our whole family of companies, which we kind of call the Business Technology Hub. We don't use that in terms of our branding very often, but essentially it represents a whole family of companies here in Wadsworth, all technology related, including Polito Consulting Services and a variety of other companies, probably like 10 or 11. But the reason why I mentioned that is within our whole family of teams, we have a strong culture of service and a strong desire to serve people ultimately. One of the mantras we use is we care, we know, we serve. And in that context, like I get to do that. I get to do that when it comes to, it may be websites or it may be social media or it may be logo or marketing collateral. But the important thing to me more is connecting on a human level. I'm a very relational person, and I want to help. And so oftentimes in this space, people do need help. So thankfully, I can bring both a skill set and a knowledge base, and of course have designers and developers that back me up in terms of our capabilities. But then on top of all that, and I think what's probably most important is the people piece. And I just love it. If I could literally just connect with people all day, every day, that's probably exactly what I would be doing. Reality dictates that you can't do that all day, every day, unless you have maybe a very specific type of job. But mine comes pretty close to it, where I get to connect with team members every day, and I get to connect with business owners, business leaders, and prospects. And then I also get to network as well. So yeah, I love it. I just love that piece of it, and I see myself for the rest of my days doing exactly that in any way that I can.
And all of those things are what makes Eyedeal Creative so unique. All of those things that you mentioned, it's amazing. And I do want you to know that when I look out my window from our chamber office, if I see someone going down the street, they're the best dressed people in Wadsworth. And I know that they work for one of the Polito Consulting Services businesses. Yeah. So professional, but so warm and welcoming. And that's a very difficult balance to be able to portray as well. Okay, so how can people find you?
Absolutely. So of course, Ideal Creative, our website, is a real simple way to find us, idealcreative.com. There's a contact form. We're also on some of the major social medias, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. My personal email or my work email is kevin@idealcreative.com. Or of course, you can call into the office as well. In reference to that previous comment, I love connecting with people. So if anyone ever wants to grab a coffee on our porch with cookies or anywhere in town or frankly outside of town, I think there's plenty of opportunities to connect, and there's plenty of ways to add value. And I've had wonderful connections with people that even when it's not like, oh, I need your service, there are ways that we can work together in this community on so many levels, business and otherwise, that it's worth connecting. So reach out and we'll make it happen.
So you're right across from CIS and yeah, right in that area, and look for the beautiful porch, and that's where you'll be.
That's right. That's right. With Janie having coffee.
That's right. And you know what, Kevin, you've been such a supporter of the chamber, and thank you ever so much for that.
Absolutely.
Those are
Well,
the
chamber is
people.
an important part of Wadsworth and an important part of our business community. And likewise, Janie, you've done a tremendous amount for so many within the community. So we're all in this together, and we're continuing forward, which is awesome to see.
We could just talk about me for hours.
There we go. We'll have to schedule some more time.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin. And we will see you soon on the porch or elsewhere.
Sounds great. Thanks, Janie. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.